Yeah, this is going to be a quick introduction to TIA Portal and the lab projects that we have on the lab. That's a default project with not much in it. Well, to activate TIA Portal, double-click the icon on desktop. If it's not on the desktop, you can use the start menu to open it. It's going to take some time to open up. So this one is also configured. TIA Portal is configured to open the last project that was open, which is the lab project. Okay. If not, if you have an empty project here, you can just open a project here. Click here. And this is the one we are looking at. Here are more projects in here. Now there are two views in Portal. You have got a Portal view like this. Here's like a step way of engineering a project, or we have the project view. So we're going to use the project view. So this is here is the project. Here we've got 6 PLCs of the 1500 series, and they are all equal more or less. These two are the 2 and 3, they are a little newer firmware, and you can see on the number here, and so on. If we look into it, a PLC looks like this. It has a program which we are going to look at. There are other things you can do. There's also an important thing here, and those are the tags. And tags, here's where you put in the input and outputs for the PLC, which of course is important. Digital inputs, analog inputs, digital outputs, analog outputs that you're going to use in the program. And the inputs, they are states from your process, and the outputs, that's what you do to influence the process, do something to the process, or do something with what the PLC controls. And the program blocks, you can add new blocks. We're not going to do it. Here are some pre-made blocks in here with the alpha here in front. We have got a library, and what's in the library, we have something in signal processing, and here is a moving average filter which is in here. In simulation, there's a function block. These are all function blocks. The blue symbol says they're function blocks. We've got a sine generator. We can generate a sinusoid with varying frequencies and amplitude. And here are some subprograms. This one, the schematic PLC doesn't have any exception processing calls, so we can check if, for instance, a multiplication goes right or wrong with a floating number. So here is a function that can check if a long real number is legal, and this one can check if a real number, a short real number, or 32-bit real number is legal. So this is a real number exception. This is short for. And the system, you can use a long time tick function. This function reads out the clock, and that's going to be nanoseconds since 1990, 1st of January 1990. The FirstScan function here just checks if this is the first time this program runs, which means that the PLC has been restarted, which is important to know in a program, a PLC program. And this system function, it generates some square pulses, and it also handles the marker that the FirstScan uses to detect if the PLC has been restarted. The timers, this is just something that can be used to measure how long a program takes to execute. Under program, there's not much. Under main, there's a POU, Program Organization Unit. Main is an FC and one for simulation. In main, you enter your program, what you want to program, and the POU main is again called in a task background, and this the background task is OB1. It just is a cyclic task. It runs all the time. Simulation is called here in 5 milliseconds. Here you can, if you want to simulate something, you put program in here. When you do program, you should add new blocks to your objects. That's when you make programs. If you want to make library function, of course you would put them in here. Yeah. And then simulation programs that you make for simulation you put in here. And that's all there is to the project. Now when you're done, what you need to do is to compile your project. So, and if you have done everything okay, it's right what you've done here, no errors. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it was generated successfully. Yeah, no message. I've just ticked errors here. So there are no errors in what I made here. Now, what you have to do next is you have to have a PLC, obviously. You can use a simulated PLC here. But here's what you download to device. Download to device means that you take your program that you have made and transfer it to a real PLC or an emulated PLC. And that's about it. There's quite a bit you can do with a semantic PLC, but for now, this will be